Right, thank you for joining me, everybody. So I'm going to talk to you very, very briefly about very high probability trading in Scalper School. Now, what Scalper School is not reinventing the wheel. Scalper School is taking some existing basic tools that traders use every day of the week and have done for some considerable time, but we've taken the very best tools and blended them in a certain way that makes Scalper School unique. And I'm not aware of anybody who teaches scalping in this way at all. So that's why I've used the word unique in that context. It's not the tools we're using, it's the way in which we combine the tools to really ramp up the probability of us making a successful trade. Now, I've just got hold of some research undertaken by a Scalper School graduate. I had nothing to do with this. He wanted to backtest this. He is an engineer by profession, and so he's very good at testing and collecting data and so on. So I'm going to show you actual results of his analysis, not mine, using the Scalper School set of rules. So I'm going to show you some hard evidence of how you can be 77% consistent. Now, that's not my statistic, that's his. This particular chap came along to a presentation I did about 6 months ago, signed up for Scalper School straight away, and some of the words he uses to describe his success and what he thinks about Scalper School are terrific, and I will share that with you. So first off, let's quickly move on. Let's get to next slide. So there's the drudgery bit, disclaimer. Trading involves risk. You may lose money deposit. Yeah, okay. I'm being a little bit flippant and quick here, but trade management is something that most people find really boring, but it's one of the biggest problems that traders face. So I will just re-emphasize that, and that is a key aspect of. God, I just noticed a really bad typo there. The bottom line. Okay, I will sort that out. But trade management and risk management is core to what I do and core to Scalper School. And in fact, scalping involves less risk, I would say, than conventional trading. And I see a lot of these people who have got these ads out there, make a month's money before breakfast, only need to trade 15 minutes of the day. I'm not about that. Trade the Easy Way is not about hype and big promises. All I'm saying to you in the next sort of 20 minutes really is what Scalper School is about is a very well, thoroughly worked out set of rules, which are very simple to follow. And these are rules that we will teach you. You end up with a control sheet, so you can apply these rules day in, day out, and they are 77% successful. So I'm going to just quickly go on to talk about that. There's a little bit about me. That's a picture of me bottom right. I think I was in Kiev or Almaty. I can't remember that. I do a lot of travels and talking abroad, which I love. I love talking about trading, and that's a picture of me about 6 months ago, I think, and actually 9 months ago. So I've been in financial services one way or another most of my working life. As you can see from the photograph, got a few years under my belt, and technical trading dominates my trading, and I'm very, very interested in rules-based trading. Discretionary trading, not systems, but I am applying a system using my discretion. I'll go into a little bit more detail about that later on. Okay, and I actually manage a fund now as well, but I won't go into that at this particular point. So we don't sell systems, don't sell indicators. We are purely about teaching people the exact knowledge they need, not bamboozling them, not teaching them how to be a hedge fund manager. We're teaching you to risk your capital every year a session. And this morning, the room was only open for about 30-40 minutes. So we made our money in about 30-40 minutes, and I just closed the room, everybody was happy, and we walked away. So let's just talk about that. So why scalping? Now, scalping as a definition, actually I'll come on to the definition very quickly in the next slide. Why scalp? Because it limits the time you're at your screens. It's very high probability. I think you actually lower the risk, lower the exposure that you need to give to your account, and we're giving you a simple set of rules. So it helps you to go into the markets day in, day out, repeat the exercise that we do every day, and get 77% profit, 77% success rate. Okay, so there's not many more slides to go, and then we'll start talking about hard facts and just outlining exactly what we mean by scalping and how we operate in Scalping School. So let's just get through a few more slides quickly, and then I'll get to the meat and the crunch. Okay, so what is scalping? Well, in our book, we're not talking, traditionally scalping has got negative connotations with a lot of people. It's about trying to grab 2, 5 or 10 pips here. Our target is an absolute minimum of 20 pips per session. The reason why we've set that target is because it's easily attainable normally in a relatively short space of time. And if we can do 40, 50, 60 pips a session, then obviously we will. But our target, we're aiming a nice simple target, nice low target, using leverage but not overexposing our accounts. And there are 4 periods of the day you could scalp. So even if you are, I've got one chap who's made an inquiry interested in trading the Asian session because he's a bit nocturnal and does shifts, would like to trade overnight. So this Scalper School is still suitable for that. Okay, so we're just dipping into the markets. We're creaming off. Most days we're creaming off the bulk of the move within our set targets. We might take 1 to 3 trades a day, that's all. So we're not going crazy, we're not exposing our accounts, we're not rapidly going in and out of all sorts of trades. We're trying to scalp the chunk, the meat of the best move of the day. And typically at the moment we are totally focused on the DAX, the German exchange, because that is very liquid and suits Scalper School very well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, skip that slide. This is, so we look for momentum markets, predominantly Euro and Pound, and DAX and Dow. So that's the main, they're very technical, high volume markets, and that's what we're after. This is a snapshot of an account. I've not updated these slides for a while, but this was taken last autumn. So plus 325, plus 101, and then a stop at a 179 there on that particular period. There's another one, very small stop out, a minus 100, but then we've got plus 480, plus 306, and so on. Obviously, it depends on the size of your account and what you are wanting to do. Some of the scalping strategies we have set up for the data. I do less and less of this because I don't want to expose people's accounts to excess volatility. What we normally do is we trade the range breaks, and then before I close the room, I'll suggest ways in which you might want to trade in the next session. For example, the US session. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come out of this. That's enough of the slides. And I'm just going to drag over the evidence. Okay, so again, I am not the author of this. I had no input into this only other than the fact that this is testing my strategy, my set of rules, and the author of this has gone away, tested this over 9 months, at least 9 months, possibly more. He back tested it from July last year up until the most recent periods, right into recent days. So, this is hard and fast, completely independent, authentic data as to how successful this is. And so this OTR is the name. I'm not going to go into detail at the moment on that, but that's basically what the setup is. So 18% of these trades were losers. Oh, 74% he's got here. I thought he quoted me 77%. Okay, and 8% no trade. So the system allows for us to limit the exposure of our account on days when there wasn't a setup, when it wasn't clear. And that's quite crucial. And sometimes knowing when not to trade is more important than when to trade. Okay, so we're basically looking for a break setup. We're looking at the opening period, and we're looking for the way in which the markets move in that open period, and then assessing where the most highly likely direction of that session, taking the trade, grabbing a minimum of 20 pips, and either closing our accounts and walking away, or maybe looking at one or two other markets as well. So we do look at the pound, particularly the pound yen. That's very liquid. That's got a high daily range of over 100 pips a day, so that's a very useful one. And so this is setup number 1. This is setup number 2, and so that's the main crux of what we're doing. So of the fades that we are doing, 22% were losers, 75% winners, and 3% no trade. So these are very, very high probability trades. Okay, and this morning we did 27 pips on the DAX. I'll just quickly show that. Just call up the chart again. Yeah, very crazy times in the market. Here's the DAX. This is what our setup looked like. We traded this down here. I think my entry was 923. I got out at 960, just under that dotted line. Okay, and we've been in the range the rest of the day, so we've not traded this since. And that's the system. The way in which this 15-minute chart is set up in a very, very specific way. And here's the 60-minute chart. That's also set up. Actually, that's not quite showing how we normally set that up. I've stripped out the actual normal, simple way in which we line that up. All right, so I appreciate I've given you a very, very brief, short and succinct introduction to scalping, to what we call scalping, not necessarily what the industry calls or what the profession calls scalping. So we're in and out, sometimes in 20-30 minutes in the session, and we'll close up. Sometimes we will wait until the main UK data at 9:30 in the mornings, and then we will suggest, or I will suggest, areas that you might want to look at in the US session. And we have an alert system as well. We have a chat room for the rest of the day once the main trading room is closed, and you will have, anybody who joins will have access to that as well. Okay, so that's enough of the main aspect of Scalper School. The next course is next week. It's the 30th of May, 31st and the 1st. At the moment, these are only run during the working day. If any of you would like to do a weekend course, then please let me know, because I'm just researching that to gauge what demand there is for weekend courses. And that's something I could set up if you are interested in that. Right, if you would like to join us, it is £575. I'm not one of those people who ramps up the cost and then offers you a massive discount. I'm a very, very straightforward person. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a trader. This 575 represents a lot of my input that you get, not only just on the course, but after the course, because you'll be in my trading room for 4 weeks. We run the trading room 3 days a week. You have 5 days access to the chat room. You get daily videos, and you get a weekend Excel sheet with suggested, which all is based around the whole Scalper School system, but on a larger scale. So we're looking at the bigger picture at the weekend, and then of course during Scalper School we scale down to the smaller time frame. So if you would like to join us next week for those 3 sessions, and then come join us in the room for a month with all those extras, and including Monday night we have a traders round table where we spend anything from 30 to 60 minutes doing some aspects of trader education and scanning the markets. All right, so any questions at this stage? Well, I say this stage, I mean it's a lovely summer's evening. I spent a lot of time on my screens today. I don't want to spend too much more time on the screens. I'm sure you're the same. So I've skimmed through the presentation. I've shown you some third-party independent evidence, given you a quick look at the DAX and how we traded it today. So any questions? Yeah, somebody's asked, do we give specifics on the US session? Yes, we do. This can be applied to the Dow, very easily applied to the Dow. It's just as effective and incorporates all the same set of rules. These rules are very, very easy to follow. That's the beauty. That's one of the reasons why they're so consistent, because we'll show you time and time again how this works, so you can gain a lot of confidence in it, and then you can just initially you might want to stand by and watch how we trade, and then when you're ready you can join us and look at the trades that we are taking, and if you agree with them then you can trade it alongside us. But yes, it works very well for the Dow. Okay, not too many questions coming in. Yes, you get a control sheet, outlines all the main aspects of it, so you can have that by your side and print it out, and so you can make sure that you stay within the rules. So yes, for the first month, good question, what happens after the course? So for the first month, this course fee includes your time in the room. After that month, if you would like to continue with us in the room, then you will need to become a full member. And this page here, so for day traders, you get all this. I think I will review that fee down actually. Anybody who wants to join, I will review that down to 145, not 177. I'll make that a bit fairer. But if you want to join us after the month, and you should look to, and once you're trusting this setup, you should look to make the feedback in 1 or 2 days. This membership on the right, investor membership, is for those who do not come into the room. For day traders, they are investors, and so it's reduced because you're not incurring the day trading room costs. All right, so straight after this, I will revise that down. I think it's a little bit rich. You know, we've got more and more members in the room now, so I can afford to let you have that at a cheaper rate. Any more questions? We run the course once a month. So next week's course is the sort of next one, and after that it will be, I normally do them about 3 to 4 weeks apart. So I haven't set the date for the next one, but I will do very quickly once we get to the weekend. I will go through the diaries and book in the next one after that if you can't make this one. Like I said, if you do want to do a weekend course, then let me know. But the idea of this is to be a day trader, to be available, at least during the early morning. So the room opens. That's a good question. What time does the room open? The room opens at 10 to 8. And like I said, this morning we were all done and dusty by about 20 past 8. We sometimes pause during this session between 10 to 8 and 10 o'clock, and then just trade the markets as we come out of that period. Okay, so we might be active for, say, the first 30 minutes, then I might sort of go on pause and then come back to you about 10 to 9, see if there's any trades around that period. Otherwise, then wait till the data's out at 9:30 and look for setups in that period. Right, any other questions? Don't want to take up too much of your time. Any other questions? Like I said, if you would like to join us, you need to go on this trading course button, scroll down to Scalper School, and then register here. And that'll take you to this box. It should take you to this box. For some reason it's a little slow. And you've got a registration form once you click on that button. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I'll post that in the room. So you've all got that. Okay, so hopefully you can see the chat box. Oh yeah, I think all of you found the chat box. All right, any more questions before I finish? Very happy to answer any other questions about the way in which we use, the way the courses are run, or the way we run the room, or the setup itself. I've deliberately avoided going into any sort of detail about the setup itself because I end up just teaching you. I don't want to do that because I don't think it's fair to our members if I sit there and just go through it. Not fair at all, not fair to anybody. All right, no more questions coming in. If you would like a recording of this quick 20 minutes, I'm very happy to deliver that. If you want to just keep a check on what we are doing daily, like our Facebook page and keep tabs of the notes. If you look at our Facebook page, you will see I have a very detailed notes on there, and future events are coming up, and I will be more active on the video front. Right, it doesn't seem to be any more questions coming in, so I'll leave it there, and thank you very, very much for joining me. It's a lovely evening out there, so I'm going to get some fresh air now. Final call for questions. Otherwise, I will wish you a very nice evening and look forward to talking with you if you would like to join us. If you want to ask any more questions, you can always contact me from this little envelope button here on the website, or contact me from the Facebook page. That's easy way to get hold of me. All right, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much, and bye for now.